ball go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Goff. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. It's caught left side by Cooks. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. On first down, it's Gurley. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, as they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Wait, for what? What did she say? Exactly. She said, call Dad.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20.
Oh, you got deep? 5.
And Dalton to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back 1 pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big run there by Gurley. 55 yards. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him. That full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts. They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And that takes us from second to third down. Now gone. And it's caught for a Rams touchdown by Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Zerline good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
And that was a good run, and it should get the attention of the defense, but it can't just dwell on it. They've been playing so well this entire game. Maybe you just look at it and say, okay, congratulations, you got one on us, and just not let it turn into more.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a first down following a gain of 3. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
368.
And now to the air, Dalton. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The great veteran Clay Matthews able to knock that one away in coverage. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Now, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, They're not giving up anything.
Come on.
And they're able to
Sitting
run
there.
this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 36 yards. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Passing, it's Dalton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. And it'll be Dalton again. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Andy Dalton now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Dalton operating in the red zone now. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Bravo!
To throw again. Dalton eluding the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Samson Abuka able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. From the gun, Dalton. And this is going to be intercepted. John Johnson with the INT.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's Gurley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That's a gain of 13, 1st down Rams. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Welcome back now here in London. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Gurley. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now it's Gurley. And Gurley, he fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And the Bengals grab it. And he's in. Touchdown, Bengals. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
Bullock good on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Henderson now on 1st and 10. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Well, Henderson is a junior at Memphis last year, better than 1,900 yards, had 25 total touchdowns. They drafted him in the 3rd round in an effort to try to give Todd Gurley some support in a backup role. Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Come on, 180. Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Kill.
Henderson will try to run for the first. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Dalton. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing. Dalton. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that will get him one closer. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says? Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll go back to Henderson on first down. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Shifts by him. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the carry is Henderson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for L.A., they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.